Hello, welcome to my room. Today we will be continuing the ever requested series by no one in particular because I have 5 subscribers, The Hunger Games. Now I have been recapping the first 2 movies. This is gonna be the last 2 movies because I genuinely could not remember enough to make it into 2 separate videos. So the memo of this is that I have not watched these movies ever since they came out. Okay, I watched them in theaters, haven't watched them ever since. Maybe I watched them like one other time, but it was so long ago, I don't remember much of the premise, okay? But I really liked these movies at the time. So I feel like I remember enough to make a full-length video about it, trying to explain to you guys what happened in the movie. Well, in the last 2 movies. I have made a cute little presentation, but we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves right now. Let us begin. So I'm sorry if I forget any important things that went on in this movie. I didn't want to rewatch them because I felt like that would be too easy, you know? That would be too easy to recap. This is all by memory. This is all the memory that I accumulated as, I don't know how old I was, like a 14-year-old watching these movies in cinema. This is a testament to my memory. This is a testament to my knowledge. And I'm about to redeem myself because I feel like I did pretty well. I'm sorry if the order of events does not follow the proper timeline. I think I included almost everything, at least the more important parts. Let's begin. So if you guys don't remember what happened in the last movie, we basically got kidnapped by District 13. And now we're in a bunker. You might be saying, District 13? Girl, you cray-cray. District 13 got bombed up long ago. They don't exist anymore. You would be wrong. You would be mistaken. District 13 is alive, okay? They have been hiding out in a bunker and they're surviving. And after all this commotion, people are like, you know what? We are going to rebel. We do stand by Katniss. All the districts are now like, you know what? Let's rebel. You know what? Let's stand up and defeat the Capitol. And Katniss is now the Mocking Slay. She is officially the Mocking Slay, but she doesn't want to be the Mocking Slay. She just went through so much trauma. She found out that District 13 is still existing, and guess what district is not existing anymore? District 12. Yes, her home got boom boom powed by the Capitol and no longer exists. Okay, there is no longer District 12 and she is stuck in this bunker with everyone else from District 13 who has no personalities and all wear gray. Disgusting, okay? Disgusting, Anya. And guess who's also missing? Peeta. Peeta and his gut healthy sourdough bread are nowhere to be seen, okay? District 13 is lacking healthy sourdough bread, okay? They do not have good gut health and Peeta is to blame for it. If he were to return, the gut health would be popping in District 13. Katniss is going through it. Not only does she not want to be the Mockingjay, her home just got bombed. Only a couple of people survived from District 12, but the most important people survived. So her mom, her sister, Gale survived. I think Gale's family also survived. I don't know who else survived from District 12, but those are the ones I remember. If someone else survived, yay. But while we're in the bunker, we kind of started to get a little suspicious because Gale is enjoying this a little too much. As I had mentioned before, people are rebelling. District 13 is starting to rebel. They're like, you know what? We have been locked up here for too long. We need to find a way to target the Capitol, basically throwing bombs, getting a bunch of people to go in their cover and kind of find out some sneaky little secrets. And Gale is loving it. He's like, you know what? Let's bomb here, let's bomb there. Gun over here, gun over there, bap, bap, boom. And Katniss is like, what's going on, sir? Calm down. Okay, I know we all want freedom. I know we all want equality, but you are basically killing innocents. And he's like, innocent. Okay, let's remember that Gale had never been to the Capitol in his life. Okay, he has only known poverty his whole life. He's an impoverished individual, okay? But Katniss, she has been in the Capitol and she knows that there are people in the Capitol who also do not want this. And she is trying to explain that to Gale, but Gale is like, I don't want to hear it, babes. I don't want to hear it. They're all the enemy, okay? If they have even stepped foot in the Capitol, they are the enemy. And she's like, well, then I'm the enemy, bitch. But guess who else is in the bunker? Miss Effie, yes. And she is finding whatever which way to still stay in fashion, okay? She's wearing her little headpiece. She's wearing whatever bracelets she can find, okay? She's like, I know we are in a revolution, but revolution fashion, that's who I am. And we are loving it, okay? We love Effie. Katniss's mom, still no presence. I honestly don't know who she is. That's why I put this PNG model of a random woman from Canva. Still not important to the plot. But Primrose Everdeen, she's now like a nurse or something. I think she's like a doctor and she's like trying to help people, which is really nice, okay? She's a really nice girl. Plutarch. Plutarch. So we have Plutarch and we have, what was her name? What was her name? What was her name? I'm gonna have to look it up. No, I don't want to look it up. Coin. President Coin. President Coin. We have Plutarch and President Coin. They are running the shit down here, okay? Plutarch, I think he's like a marketing professional or something. I think he works in like the film marketing industry. So he's really good at making propaganda. And Coin, she's supposed to be like the leader down here, okay? She's like the president down here. They're all trying to convince Katniss like, we need to film more propaganda. You need to be doing all of this. You need to be filming commercials, basically. Like, we need you out there ASAP. They're basically trying to run an idol boot camp, but Katniss, she don't want to be an idol. She is not here for it. I don't want it. I know I'm the mocking slave, but I don't want it. Anyways, Katniss does not want to be the mocking slave. Okay, she's like, I don't want to be a part of this. I never even wanted to be a part of this from the beginning. Why is it that all of a sudden this is my responsibility? Like, come on, find someone else. Okay, there's so many other lovable people and people that are actually good at this and people that will actually do things in a proper way, but here I am who just is gonna fuck things up. Okay, I think she was trying to convince them to use Finnick because Finnick is a lot better like talking to people. He's a lot better with all this, so she's like, use him, but leave me out of this. Katniss isn't able to convince anyone that she doesn't want to be the mocking slave for the main reason that because she is terrible with all this like filming and like talking to people is what makes her a good mocking slave, because people see authenticity in her. The times where she makes people stand by her and support what she's doing and want to be a part of the revolution is because she's being honest. It's because she's like, okay, I don't like this. I'm speaking from the heart right now. The only reason I'm doing this is to protect the people that I love. And that's what people sympathize with her, because they're like, I see myself in you. I also am like that. I also want to see the people that I love be happy. So that is why she's such a good mocking slave. She doesn't see it yet. Soon she will. Okay. But right now we have President Coin and we have her little minions, including Gale, who they're just like planning up whatever. They're just like, let's do this, let's do that. And Katniss in the background like, I don't want to be here. My home just got struck. I don't even know what to do. Like, that's the thing. She can't even say I want to go home because there is no home to go to. Like, she is so sad and depressed almost throughout this whole movie because there's nothing left for her to do. In the first two movies, she was like, I just want to go home. I just want to be with my family. But now there is no home to go back to. She is stuck here no matter what. So either the revolution happens or she just dies, basically. But then all of a sudden, propaganda pops up. Who is it? Peeta. He's filming propaganda not for District 13, not for the revolution, but for the Capitol. And he looks a little odd. He looks a little strange. And I would just like to give a shout out to the costume design team because this outfit, oh, so good. So good. I would say it's one of the best Peeta outfits because of the little thing going on like in the bow tie, like the tie section. Oh, so good. Okay, it's like a little knife. So basically he always needs to be looking up, otherwise get stabbed. Such a good little detail. It must be uncomfortable, but it works so well for like the scene it's placed in. Loved it. They're making him film propaganda for the Capitol to just basically spread things about like Katniss, like she's such a bitch, guys. She's such an evil little bitch. Okay, and people are kind of being like, okay, if Peeta's saying this about Katniss and they were in love, remember? Everyone thinks they're in love because they are, even though none of them want to admit it, they are in love. People are like, oh, if he's saying this about Katniss, maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe she shouldn't be the mocking slave. And this is also what kind of slowly pushes Katniss because she's like, okay, why is he doing this? I know that's not him. He would never say that because Peeta is my soft little boy. Okay, he's my pita bread. He's my pita bread. But yeah, we basically start off with Peeta's propaganda with him looking a little normal, maybe a little thinner than what he looked like before. But by his last propaganda, this man looking like he's Asmongold. Okay, this man looking like he's been through tough times. It's kind of getting more and more evident. So the Capitol's like, we need to do something because this man's looking like he's dying. And sooner or later, people are not gonna believe the propaganda because they're gonna be more worried about the state of what he's looking like, which is he looks like he's on on Ozempic and is gonna go to the Met Gala. That is how celebrities be looking like nowadays. Candace is like, you know what, let's go film propaganda. Okay, I am ready to do this, let's go. And where do they take her? District 12, so she could be around all the rubble and all the fallen buildings, so it could bring back memories. Because remember what I said, Katniss does her best moments when she is feeling emotional. Okay, she is not an emotional person, but when she feels it, she's like, you know what? Time to film. And while they are in District 12, the film crew, which are not really important, so that's why I just got a PNG film crew, and while they're there, they're getting so much film. Okay, they're like, this is great, she's getting emotional. But then comes the moment. Then comes the moment where Candace looks at the camera, delivers a speech so emotional, they're like, this is it. This is the film. Let's wrap it up, let's go home. Let's go lay down at the pond. Let's go lay down for a moment and just admire the beauty that is still left in District 12. I think they go sit like near a tree where there's some grass and there's like a pond or a river, I don't know what it is, and they're just having a jolly old time, which is what you kind of need after all this. I think it's really what Katniss needed at this moment, because she was going through a lot, and as we all know, she loves the woods, she loves nature, so I feel like being stuck in a bunker for so long kind of also contributed to her depression. In the outside, in nature, I really do think it helped her. But while she's there, give us a tune, and that's where we get the legendary Hanging Tree song.
Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say, who murdered 3. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be.
Oh my god, this song charted, top streaming song on Spotify. It was so good, okay? Everyone was obsessed with this song, okay? Everyone. If there was a song of the year when this movie came out, it was this song. They released her kind of singing as part of the propaganda, and people are loving it. Oh, people are loving it. They're going crazy. They're like, Katniss, we didn't know you had it in you. We didn't know you wanted to go to the X Factor instead of the Hunger Games. Okay, you should have told us before. People are loving this. It's basically what kind of gets people moving again. Whole revolution was kind of stalling because we weren't getting enough Katniss. All of a sudden, we kind of get this clip of one of the other districts. I don't know what district it was, but they go to the Capitol, bombarding their walls, try to invade the Capitol, and they're all singing Katniss's Hanging Tree song, okay? It is becoming the song of the revolution, okay? There's not a song of the year, not a song of the summer, the song of the revolution, okay? Have your favorite artist make that. Peeta, let's start filming again. So for a while, they're going at it. Katniss and Peeta propaganda are going at it. Peeta's like, Katniss a bitch, okay? And Katniss is like, we need to stand up, guys. And then Peeta's like, you know what? District 13 is corrupt. And then all of a sudden, Katniss is like, guys, we need to do this for ourselves. Take down the Capitol. I forgot what the propaganda was. But for a while, they're going at it. It's basically like 2 streamers boxing match to kind of prove who's the best streamer. I don't know why they do that. People were loving this cat fight. But then remember that I told you that Peeta was getting more and more ill the more propaganda shoots he filmed? Well, by this point, he was looking like trash. By this point, man was looking like he was competing with Asmongold to see who looked more like shit. And Candace is like, you know what? I'm gonna stop filming propaganda if you do not bring me Peeta. If you want me to continue doing all of this, I need to see my pita bread because I need to eat that up. No, just kidding. So they assemble a team. They assemble the worst Avengers because Gale is part of them. They basically storm the Capitol to get Peeta back. And you might be thinking why I'm glossing over this. It's because they don't really show it in the movies, or at least I don't remember them showing it in the movies, okay? I just remember Gale being like, I'll be right back, and then him coming back like 5 minutes later like, oh, I got Peeta. Here he is. But Peeta looks a little rough, okay? He's looking worse than what he did on screen. And Candace is like, my Peeta bread. Okay, she goes running to him. She's like, my Peeta, I love you. Oh yeah, and they also bring Joanna back. Joanna was also captured by the Capitol, but we don't really care. They got Peeta back. And she goes after her. She's like, Peeta, Peeta. And then all of a sudden, Peeta tries to strangle her. Peeta's like, and Candace is like, Peeta, this isn't you. Look at me. It's me. This isn't you. But Peeta's not having it. He's like, I hate you. I hate you. I wish I never met you. And Candace is like, stop it. Stop it. It's me. It's Katniss. But then I think they kind of like smack Peeta and he faints. So Candace is free. People are asking questions because this is not like Peeta. Peeta is our sweet little baker boy. This is not like him. So people are questioning at this point, what happened to Peeta? What did the Capitol do to Peeta? Why is he acting so strange? Why does he want to kill Katniss? I forget who, but someone basically deciphers that they were kind of poisoning him and conditioning him so he could think that Katniss is the enemy and that he's supposed to be Katniss's op, basically, and that's why he tried to kill her. But they are trying to reverse it, and that is like a big plot of of the movie. They're just trying to like help Peeta because everybody loves Peeta. Okay, everybody inside of the bunker, they love Peeta. He's supposed to be like this really nice boy. Maybe they explain it more in the books, but I just don't remember liking Peeta that much. Okay, like I thought he was nice, but I don't know. They're always telling us how good Peeta is, but I never really see much of it. Yeah, but I never really understood why they liked Peeta so much. I understand why Katniss likes him, you know, she's in love with him, but I don't really understand why other people like him so much. I think they were mostly trying to help him because Katniss liked him and they wanted to make her happy, but they didn't really care that much about Peeta. Which is kind of sad, but honestly that's the only conclusion I can come up with. But we have a wedding, yes. Remember Finnick Odair? He had a fiance. Well, he has a fiance. They're getting married. Peeta, great that you're here. You're basically the only baker in this universe. You're gonna bake the cake. And Peeta's like, okay. There's like a whole wedding scene. It's supposed to be really cute, really romantic. It's supposed to lift everybody's spirits because, you know, like weddings are really nice. Everybody kind of likes Finnick. I think he's like that one really social friend you have that everybody really likes, but bombing never stops. Gale is like, yay, happy wedding, happy life, let's continue bombing. Coin is loving it. Coin is like, oh, I love you, Gale. Loved all the ideas you're having. And while they're over there discussing new plans for how to kind of invade the capital, Gale is like, why don't we throw a bomb? And then while that bomb goes off, we throw another bomb where the refugees stayed from the first bomb. And the room goes silent. The room is like, Gale, that's a little too much. Okay, you're basically telling us to bomb the refugees. And he's like, well, someone's gotta do it, babes. Someone's gonna be the hero here. And they're like, you're not the hero, Gale. But he's not listening. He's not listening. He's not paying attention. He's like, I don't really care. There's beef going on. Because who now releases propaganda? President Snow. He's like, we may no longer have Peeta, but I'm going to speak to my people. He's mostly taunting Katniss. He kind of knows how to get into her mind, how to get into her head. I think there is so many similarities between them where they kind of understand each other, but also don't understand each other. So they decide to build a team to invade the capital, take down Snow from the inside, okay? It's gonna be a very covert, silent operation. They don't want to have a big team. They don't want people knowing what's going on. And then at this point, Effie's like, let me give you this, babes. She hands something over to Katniss. It's Cinna's last drawings of the outfit he kind of wanted for Katniss when she decided to be the Mocking Slay. And I think he gave them to Effie to give to Katniss once she was ready. When she was like, yes, I am the Mocking Slay. Because remember, Cinna was a part of this from the beginning. He was not okay with what the Capitol was doing. In the Capitol, you couldn't really say anything. You were compliant with the situation because if you said something, you would basically be exiled from the Capitol. So Cinna always found fashion to be a way of rebelling for him. Okay, it's like a silent rebel. That's why he ultimately ended up being off because his fashion had so much power. And I love that. Oh, that was so good. Okay, the fact that Cinna's fashion had such an impact on Katniss's like whole revolution era. Oh, love that so much. I think that was my favorite part of the whole story, of the whole movies, the whole trilogy, everything was just the way that fashion impacted everything. Katniss gets her new look, her new Mocking Slay look. Loved it. Cinna did a great job, obviously. So at this point, it's revolution full swing. Okay, the Mockingjay has her outfit. Peeta is back. The propaganda campaigns full swing everywhere. This is really game on. And Katniss, she's in it now. She's fully in it. After finding out what they did to Peeta and what they also did to Joanna, because they kind of did the same thing to both of them, but not as extensively to Joanna, Katniss is ready. She's like, you know what? This is what I was made for. And even if I die here, I will die happily knowing that Peeta is safe. My family is safe. They formed a team to swarm the capital. Coin is like, bye Katniss. And you would be asking, why would she send Katniss, the most famous person basically in all of Pan Am right now? Why would she send her to the trenches to basically die? And not only that, why would she send Peeta along with Katniss? It makes no sense. Like, this man is still trying to actively kill Katniss. He still isn't 100% okay. So why would she send Katniss to the trenches with someone who's actively trying to kill her? Also, Gale is there and there's a whole other bunch of people there. Finnick is there, very important, but the majority of them are gonna die. We go in there, they set up a trap for them. The Capitol knew they were coming, so bam, a whole bunch of the extras die. Do we care? A little, but it's not that sad. But then all of a sudden, we're in the sewers. I forgot how we got to the sewers, but Finnick deceased. Finnick is taken out by these like weird zombies monsters that they have created. I don't know, it's giving a little Resident Evil. I thought this was the Hunger Games. Why are we all of a sudden bringing in Nemesis? What movie is this? Justice for Finnick, who just got married and now left his pregnant wife back at the bunker. What is this? Peeta tries to attack Katniss at a certain point. He's like, oh, I want to kill you. Why would you send him? Do you want this to work out or not? Do you want him to kill Katniss? It seems like you do. Suspicious. But yeah, they take him off Katniss. Everything is fine. She's okay. But then all of a sudden, once they get to kind of like the main area, like the central area of the capital where Snow is probably at, which I don't think he would be there because, you know, I'm sure he has a bunker somewhere so he could be safe at all times. But there's a whole bunch of people. They kind of camouflage themselves so that they won't immediately be recognized. As they're walking there, Katniss starts getting a little suspicious. I've seen this scenario play out. I've heard this somewhere before, but she can't really pinpoint it. But all of a sudden some parachutes start falling, like in the first movie where they were in the Hunger Games and like some aid parachutes would fall. It's kind of like that, but a bunch of them start falling. So the people from the Capitol, they're like, oh my god, President Snow is giving us some aid so we can go through these hard times. He's such a nice guy. Yes, President Snow. So they reach out to grab the parachutes. They're bombs. Boom, boom, pow, chicka, bow, wow. People are exploding everywhere. Katniss was not in like the area where the bombs went off, so she's okay. And I think all the other people that were with her are also okay. But then all of a sudden, the medics that are nearby, which I don't really know what Primrose was doing there. Like, she genuinely came out of nowhere in my mind. Because you're telling me District 13 sent in this covert small group of people that were gonna infiltrate the Capitol, and then all of a sudden Prim just shows up out of nowhere. Like, she was not part of the initial group, she was not part of the covert operation, but she just showed up in the Capitol out of nowhere. Maybe there is an explanation to that, but genuinely to me I was like, where the fuck did she come from? And Katniss, remembering what Gale was planning back in District 13 with President Coin, that they were planning on 2 bombs, all of a sudden guess what happens? Another bomb. Another bomb, and guess who is no longer here with us? Miss Primrose Everdeen is gone. Katniss does not get blasted by the second bomb either. Remember, she is the final girl and she will survive. But she does get knocked out. All of a sudden she wakes up and there's Haymitch, which I know I haven't mentioned him because he's not really that important in this movie, honestly. There's not really much of him in this movie. He's the one that's telling her that Prim was outed by the bomb. She's obviously very emotional. We never hear from the mom. No idea what happened to her. No idea if she's still alive. Prim is gone. Finnick is gone. And they have captured President Snow. So, you're telling me the most anticipated moment, which is capturing Snow, happened off camera. All of a sudden we wake up and it's like, oh yeah, we captured him. We took down the Capitol. We basically won. What? Okay, I wish that's how I showed up to work. They were like, you know what? We already did your work. They're catching Katniss up on everything that went on while she was passed out. I'm guessing she was passed out for quite a long time. They're telling her that they captured Snow and that they want to do a public execution and that she will be the executioner. You know, she's really good with a bow, so she's gonna... and game over. I want to have one final conversation with Snow because she doesn't really know what happened. Like, imagine waking up and they're like, yeah, the revolution's over. We won. She's like, what happened? What is going on? So she talks with Snow and he gives her the final monologue. And at this point, Katniss, I don't really think she had put 2 and 2 together, that it was actually District 13 that had sent in the 2 bombs, even though it's very obvious if you kind of like pay attention. I don't think she had put 2 and 2 together. So President Snow, like, why would I bomb my own people? You guys bombed them. And she's like, no, we're nice people. We're not like you, evil little dictator. And he's like, are you sure you can trust that woman? Do you even know that woman? She has no charisma. She has no charisma. She don't know shit. Okay, she was basically raised in a bunker. All she ever knew was getting out of that bunker and getting revenge. Imagine growing up with that mentality. Obviously, you're willing to do anything, even kill innocents. So Katniss, she's kind of second guessing everything, but she doesn't have time for that. It's time for the public execution. She walks out, mocking Slay outfit. Okay, she takes a while to walk there, okay? They make a big corridor in order for her to get to Snow. And then she takes out her arrow, her bow. She's ready to shoot. And instead of shooting at Snow, she points it a little bit up, bam, shoots Coin. Everyone is shocked. Coin falls because she's like standing on a pedestal. You can kind of see her ego right there. Because also at this time, oh well, we don't really have a president anymore. I'm just gonna elect myself president. Only temporarily. Only temporarily, obviously. I'm just here until we find someone else. But it's kind of obvious that she wants Snow's position. She wants to be the next Snow. And something that I very much appreciated in this movie was the costume design. Because when we start off the movie, she's dressed in gray, like a lot of people in the bunker are. But as we progress through the movies, her clothing starts getting lighter and lighter and lighter, almost white like Snow, which hints at what she wants. But we need to remember who the real enemy is, and it is age. Because if this was President Snow during the time, I would have been pissed. I would have been like, girl, why did you shoot him? I know he was evil, but he's different. He can change. I can change him. It's very obvious the more you progress through the movie that Coin just really wanted to be the next Snow, and she didn't really want to end all this cycle of the districts and all that. It was obvious that she basically wanted to make the people from the capital now the slaves, continue on with the cycle. So the fact that Katniss killed her, ending that cycle, and I think the crowd when she shot Coin kind of went in and killed Snow themselves. So by the end, we kind of get this cute little shot of Katniss and Peeta living together. They had 2 children, kind of living their best life as parents. We don't really get an update on what happened to Panem after this, like who became president, what political structure they built. That's basically like an open ending. Yeah, but I would also like to give a shout out Fredo, one of the hottest contestants. I know he was evil, but he was just misunderstood. Guys, you don't get him like I do. You don't get him. You don't understand him like I do. He was innocent. He deserved to live with me. With me. But yeah, I really enjoyed these movies. Maybe not the last ones, but I do think it was a good ending, okay? I think we've seen so many TV shows, so many movies, so many series that just don't know how to end something because they have so many plots going on, because they've tried to extend the series so much to get as much money out of it that by the time they do end up finishing the series, it's just such a terrible ending. Okay, I really did enjoy this ending. Even though the last movies kind of seems a little choppy, I feel like it would have been a lot better if they made them all into one movie. But it was still great. I did enjoy the ending of her executing Coin instead of Snow. I really did like that. And obviously the costumes were great. The costume department, honestly, in these movies, they made the movies, okay? They made the movies. The director did a great job. The actors did a great job. The costume department, underpaid, undervalued, underappreciated, because they truly made this movie what it was. They truly made all of these movies what they were, and I really do appreciate them. I really like The Hunger Games, especially with what's going on right now in society. I feel like at the time we kind of made fun of it, especially the people in the Capitol, but now I feel like we are living in the Hunger Games and we are the districts, okay? And watching all those influencers online, we're just looking at the Capitol. And soon we will be looking at the Hunger Games. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry for the little morbid ending. I will be returning soon